Welcome to the Daily Coffee Pro by Mapper Forward, friends. Today on the podcast, I want to talk about choosing the way that we participate in our industry, in our careers, in our businesses. We have been through hell and back with this pandemic and with all of the social unrest that 2020 and 2021 is positioning us to have gone through. It can seem overwhelming. Whether you're an employee or an employer, wherever it is that you are participating in, life is overwhelming. And the way that you choose to participate in what you do with that overwhelm is going to define the difference between whether you elevate your experience of the industry and the industry's experience of the industry, or whether things just stay the same. I'm a big believer in be the change that you want to see. And when I moved back to Sydney recently, I decided that I want to be a part of a community that identifies what's challenging for that community and how we can collectively come together and figure out those solutions. So I'm a part of a movement to create the Sydney Coffee Town Hall. That's just one way that I've chosen to participate. Having all of this content available for free through the podcast, thanks to our sponsors, is another way that I choose to participate. There's a lot more that I can do to participate, and I'm trying to figure out the best ways to do that. This isn't about me though. I say that just to lead into an acknowledgement that because the barrier to entry is so low in our industry to become an employee or an employer, inevitably people become frustrated at the realization that running a small business is difficult and very few people do it well. And if you're a business owner of a small business and you are running on the excitement of getting that off the ground, very quickly after you open, you come to realize how difficult it is. To run a successful small business in any industry is hard, but an industry that runs on 3% net profit is even harder. Now imagine the overwhelm that everyone experiences that's in the ecosystem of a business that isn't doing well. Staff get frustrated because they're not being heard, they're not being paid, they're not able to progress. Business owners get frustrated because they have the best intentions and they want to just do a really great job at running a business so nobody has to worry about whether they get paid or not. Suppliers are frustrated because their invoices aren't getting paid. And customers see everyone upset, so they get really frustrated with the whole situation. But we can participate in a way that starts to shift all of these frustrations. And we as an industry wax poetic about community this and a community that and community this and community that. But community has different levels and layers to it. And my experience in 20 years in this industry is that community stretches so far as coming together for a beer or a coffee and doing a throwdown or having discussions about things. Our industry has reached a new turning point. And we have been stress tested and will continue to be stress tested throughout this pandemic. Now is the time where a new level of community needs to be acknowledged, where we come together as smaller groups in our local communities and start to come up with ways of identifying the challenges that we're experiencing and coming up with some solutions together. If we can participate at that level, we can start to strengthen our supply chains, our local communities, our industries. If we can strengthen those links between them, if we can strengthen the way that we work together, if we can buy coffee collectively, if we can make sure that we make agreements as a local community that all of our workplaces do not allow sexual harassment to happen. If we agree that we're going to make sure as local communities that we are all going to pay our staff a livable wage. Just by doing these kinds of things and coming together and having discussions and hearing each other saying, look, I think it's great that we want to make sure that we pay everyone a livable wage, but how do we do that on 3% net profit? And start the conversation. If we can start those conversations, what ends up coming from that is that we start to realize that we're not alone in the challenges that we're experiencing. And if we can participate and we can make a choice to participate at this level and be present for the challenges that we're experiencing, then we really do start to understand what the term community really means. So I want to invite you to consider, how are you participating? How are you participating in your own career and business? Are you showing up as best as you can? How are you participating in your community? And what is your mindset behind that? Are you just expecting other people to just fix all the problems when you get frustrated by them? Or are you participating in a way that helps you align yourself with being part of the change that you want to see? Just something to think about. Peace, love, and peanut butter, friends. Have an amazing rest of your day.